This is the Owl of Wisdom. Like and subscribe for 10 years of good luck. If you don't, it won't be pretty. Men of Reddit, what about women leaves you completely baffled? One bag of peanut butter M&Ms, not the yellow bag, the red bag, will change my wife from wanting to stab me to being a loving and pleasant woman to be around in the span of about 2 minutes. How some women can shave their legs super fast. If I shaved any part of my body that quickly, I would look like Hellraiser. The loud gasp while I'm driving about something small lol. Like, do you want me to roll the car lol? When we are hanging out having casual conversation, then her phone rings, she answers, and the pitch of her voice rises to Mariah Carey status. One day my girlfriend was mad at me, and I didn't know why, which itself wasn't unusual. It turned out she dreamed that I cheated on her. I later shared this story with a couple of my guy friends, and they said they'd had the same experience. Their aesthetic sense. How did they all become armchair interior decorators / fashion consultants? My 9-year-old daughter is better at picking out my outfits than I am. Where do they hide their penis? How is it that bobby pin companies don't rule the world? I swear the average woman must go through more bobby pins in a lifetime than oxygen. I could have my wife prep up 30 minutes or even 2 hours early for a morning appointment, and we'd still manage to somehow be 15 minutes late for it. This has only happened with 2 to 3 women tops. Telling me to do something and then getting upset with me when I do it. I'm on the autism spectrum, so there could have been subtext that went completely over my head, but I don't think that can explain every time this happened. Pairing up to go to a public toilet. I've had several women give me their number without me asking, but then when I text or call, they never reply. Why do this? I like when a woman makes the first move, but it still usually turns out to be nothing. How some women can remember the exact details of an argument we had 8 months ago but somehow can't remember where they parked their car at the mall less than an hour ago. This girl I was talking to all semester said she didn't want to date, then things ended because she wanted to date me, and I never asked her out after she already said she didn't want to date. They can carry other humans inside of them. If you think about it, shit's wild. Why do women remain friends with women they hate? What do they find so attractive about cute things? I see something cute, I'm like AWW, that's cute. My wife and other women I know would be like, ah, so cute. Let me love it forever or I'll die. How most, and I cannot stress this enough, most, not all, of them can think it's healthy to go through life thinking, if that cute guy I really want to ask me out doesn't ask me out, then he's not worth my time. Ending a relationship because we never fight. Haircuts. This is a huge generalization, but most women's haircuts look exactly the same to me, yet cost a ridiculous amount. How to read their signals. I'm so bad at it a lot of times. For example, here is a copy / paste from another thread of a situation I found myself that left me baffled. My sophomore year of high school, I had a couple of classes with this girl I had a crush on. Because teachers loved using alphabetical order there, she and I ended up sitting next to each other in those classes. We start passing notes in those classes, talking about random stuff and being a bit flirty. One day I decide to get the courage to ask if she wanted to go out with me to a movie or something. So I ask her out in one of our notes. She replies saying that she's really sorry, but she doesn't like me in that type of way. I was devastated, of course, but I also liked her as a friend and didn't want to lose that, so I replied saying that was okay and asking if we could just forget I asked and keep things the way they were because class would be so boring without our talks. She said yeah, that was fine, and we stayed note buddies throughout the year. Fast forward to my senior year, I had to repeat algebra because I fucked up really badly my junior year due to some personal issues. I'm in a class with a bunch of people the grade under me, and I get seated next to this girl named Kate that I thought was so pretty. Like with the other girl, we ended up passing notes to each other in class, and I come to find out not only did I find her physically attractive, but she was also a really awesome person with similar interests. I really liked this girl and crushed hard on her throughout the year. I would make her mix CDs that she would tell me she loved, and she even made me one a couple of times. I'd share with her stories I wrote and also art I was working on. The best part of my day was getting to talk with her during homeroom/algebra. But I was scared of even trying to ask her out because of how I misinterpreted things last time, so I never did. Came really close a couple of times, but never did. A year and a half after I graduated, I'm dating a girl from the same class as her, who had been a friend of mine for a couple of years. We are hanging out with this other girl who was also in my math class, and she brings up Kate and asks why we never dated. I told her I didn't think she thought of me that way, and she was like, "Are you kidding me? She was so into you." At that time it didn't really matter anymore because I was in a relationship and there was nothing I could do about it, but it did frustrate just how bad I was at reading signals. I mean, I'm still pretty bad at it, but I wish I had at least tried with Kate. I once had a girl let me know that she was not into me, then message me and directly ask to go on a date with me a few days later, and then ghost me. What, lol. Oof, sorry my dude. This response is the reason I really hate all of the women of Reddit. What are your signals threads on askreddit? Because, as it turns out, different women communicate in different ways. It's not as though there's a universal codebook for interpreting social cues. You poor broken man. A couple years before we started dating, I asked my girlfriend if she would date me. It was more playful than anything. She told me no, because I wasn't her type, which didn't hurt at all, because we're far from a likely couple for a lot of reasons. Fast forward, now we're dating, and she tells me she always was flirting with me, and she always wore pants that showed off her, but when she had shifts with me. Talk about mixed signals. I still give her shit for it. Edit, forgot to add that we were coworkers at the time. From a guy's perspective, I don't get girls who don't hang out with other girls, but instead say guys are way less complicated. From my experience, gender has to do nothing with how cool somebody is to be around. You're such a great guy. You'd make a good dad. I wish I could find someone like you. Not you, but, you know, someone just like you. How can they not be amused by the helicopter? The decision-making process when it comes to eating. We are both aware of every available food option at any given moment. There aren't foods that I know of that you aren't aware of. Why must I list out every available option? Also, I have no problem with going somewhere and finding something on a menu to eat, so when I say I'll eat anything, I really mean it. Going on 3 dates, sleeping together, the usual. Then when I begin to express feelings and try to organize another date, I get ghosted. Just ignores and doesn't reply. Fantastic feeling. How fast women's moods can change. Especially if they're on medication or birth control. 1 minute they're the sweetest creature on earth, the next they're yelling at you because one of their pizza rolls is still cold and the patriarchy will crumble under their hormonal wrath. The TV show The Bachelor. WTF, how is that entertaining? My wife, she's pretty okay. Their memory of that one thing that happened 5 years ago. That thing they do where they steal my passport on the second date. I don't get it. It's happened to me twice, and I wasn't even in a foreign country either time. Women are not a monolith. They all confuse for different reasons as much as men confuse them for different reasons. The only woman I can speak with any certainty about is my wife. After 30 years of marriage, she certainly baffles me frequently. Mainly about money. She has some weird ideas about money and how to manage it. We haven't been even late on a bill for over 30 years. We have some savings. We both have decent stable jobs and good health insurance. And to hear her talk, we are on the razor's edge of destitution. How they choose who to date. I hit on some chick on a dating app. We hit it off and apparently we knew each other cause 6 years ago she was the one who replaced me in my role in the army when I was discharged. I even did her training. Anyway, we started talking on Facebook and I asked her out. 2 days later I found out she blocked me on Facebook and deleted me from the dating app. Similar thing happened with a different girl, although she just ignored me instead of full on blocking me. If someone can explain this shit to me, I will be more than happy. Women having a more than 2-second orgasm. Why do they have fake, long nails and then complain about them literally all the time? How they can be so mean, but cute at the same time. How do you do that thing, where you levitate and make your eyes glow, while talking in someone else's voice? I never understood that one. Why they don't speak clearly. Everything is with hints. Why? And then they blame us for misinterpreting them. How? What's with all the scented candles and 30 throw pillows on the couch and fancy towels that I can't use? Long bathroom breaks. Like, what do you do that usually takes too long? I'd rather play Simon's Quest than deal with vague implications. How you are constantly thinking. Like, men can just shift into neutral and sit there without a thought in their head for hours. I don't get how you can think all the time. It really must get exhausting. The fact that some of them consider this cheating. Any girl, hey, how you doing? Guy, alright, how about you? End conversation. Their sense of time. 5 minutes means anything between 15 minutes and Tuesday 2 weeks from today. The way that their atoms interact on a quantum level. Why wear high heels when you're not going to a place where you're supposed to shine and sparkle? I cannot go to the forest because I didn't take my comfortable shoes. I cannot run because I have high heels. I cannot walk 30 minutes because I have high heels. Just why can't you fucking put on some sneakers? As a 100% manly man, I have one pair of shoes for everything. For the snow, beach, barbecue and a wedding. When we match on Tinder or Bumble, we could be talking for a few days and things seem to be going well, and we've even set up a date. Then, a day or two before the date, you go ghost. Hits right in the chest, especially when a lot of the messaging has been through Snapchat, so I can see that you opened my message. I'm sure this goes both ways, but I still don't get it. Some of them, far from all, put me down or say things to make me jealous of other men if they like me. For years I thought that meant they liked the other guy more and were making sure I knew we were just friends. After being told several times, I now know they do that, but I don't know why. It makes my interest go immediately to zero. The ability to completely disregard a friendship at the drop of a hat. If two male friends have a spat, we usually just talk about it over a beer, and then it's forgiven and forgotten. It seems a lot of female friends can start feuds that break up the friendship rather easily. How awkward it feels to confess to my crush. What's the matter? Nothing. Seriously, something is bothering you, what is it? I'm fine. Every woman ever. Cleaned public restrooms for a year and always was amazed how nasty, gross, disgusting women could be in there. Yet, act so feminine and elite outside of it. How their personalities can completely change just based on who they are around. Thanks for watching the Chronicles of Reddit. Like and subscribe for a marvelous life of adventure.